Thank you for that long, kind introduction of mine. Appreciate it. Dr. S.B. Majumdar, Dr. Vidya Advadekar, Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shashikala Gurpur, other distinguished faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, Dr. Majumdar, I would like to convey my greetings and respect both to you. And the reason I was keen to come to Pune was not to see your campus, but to meet you personally.
Thank you.
The reason is very simple and straight. In my life as an activist from my student days, which you heard about a little elaborately, I keep on meeting people, businessmen, leaders, those who establish institutions, etc. But I meet few people who are institution builders. Yeah? And I rank you as one of the foremost institution builders of India. Okay. You have a dream. You not only dreamt, but you concretized. And your hard work gave rich dividends that today Symbiosis Movement is a benchmark for quality education in all the disciplines, and basically has become a good brand of India. That is how I say institution builders. I've always held the view that government cannot do everything. The initiative of government and the proactive contribution of individual and non-government sector both have to work together to make India what it deserves. And in that laudable objective, I see you playing a very seminal role. Therefore, I convey my greetings and respect to you both. It is wonderful to talk to you digitally, virtually. We are in challenging times. I say in lighter vein, when India was in lockdown under COVID, with no rail movement, no plane movement, no highway movement, it was all my three departments which was keeping the country going together. The communication and the IT and the postal department. I liberalized this whole regime of work from home. And today India's IT industry globally having a powerful presence. 85% work from home is going on. And work from home has been elevated to work from anywhere, a model which the whole world is now replicating. In this COVID, distant digital education has become so comfortable. Digital hearing of cases has become so popular that some lawyers say it is the most comfortable. About 1 crore plus cases have been heard in the district court and the high court and the Supreme Court. And Dr. Shashikala would surely must have heard about it, that her students are more comfortable switching from one channel to another, appearing in Mumbai High Court in the first half, Supreme Court in the second half, Hyderabad High Court in the third half. Okay? And that is what digital law practice has become. We are very happy about it. Telemedicine is rising. I'll talk about digital India when I go to the second segment of my speech, because as Mr. Majumdar, I was given two options. But as I said at the very outset, I'll talk both for access to justice with reference to criminal justice, and then I will talk about digital India and social media. You must understand when India became free, and this I am saying, Professor Shashikala, more for your law students. When India became free, you must remember the background. India was partitioned on the ground of religion. Nearly 1 million plus people were displaced and nearly 1 million people lost their life. there was strife, there was commotion. But we need to salute the vision of India's founding fathers. They said, no, we'll go by the democratic route. Because there was a debate in the Constituent Assembly, and sure, your students are being taught about India's Constituent Assembly debates that must be made an important part of education in the curricula. They must know how India evolved post-independence. The debate was, should we go for some kind of a semi-autocratic rule? India is in commotion. Or we should allow whole hog. And finally, the issue was clinched. If India has to progress, India must progress through democracy. The debate should not be whether India is fit for democracy. And therefore, when the Constitution was enacted, when the other parts of the world were still debating, we gave the right to vote for every Indian, regardless of their religion, their faith, their caste, their creed, economic status, or literacy. This trust in the ordinary power of the ordinary Indians today has given rich dividends. And they also trusted India's judiciary as an independent beacon of the fundamental principles of Constitution. And therefore, our preamble begins with the premise, justice, economic, political, social. In Article 38 of the Directive Principles also, the state shall strive. And Dr. Majumdar, sitting in Pune, you must have experienced personally those challenges. All the challenges which grew in any part of the world, India had to face in its journey post-independence. The issue of caste, the issue of community, the issue of religion, the issue of region, and the issue of language. A situation came when India faced turmoil with deep hostility creeping in. And there came the judiciary of India, which gave profound judgment, which is a great cooling effect over the country. This extraordinary reciprocity between the polity and democracy and the judiciary, with a stellar role having the power of judicial review, has to be appreciated. Therefore, ordinary Indian trust the judiciary today, and that's good. I remember in my human rights activist days when I used to visit jails and used to take up the cause of under trial prisoners. There was delay, but there was trust too. We used to give them relief from intervention in the High Court and otherwise. But yes, there are problems, there are loads. India's population is too huge, expectations are huge, dependency is also huge. How do we address these problems? I would, in very concrete, give some bullet points. I think all my young friends who are listening to me must understand we can have alternative dispute redressal mechanism, which we are expanding in a very, very big way. But as far as criminal law is concerned, criminal justice can only be delivered by a regular court system. Because criminal justice delivery is the sovereign power of the state, which cannot be outsourced, except in case of minor disputes where compromise, etc., can be done, also in the Gram Panchayat Nyaya, etc. But the penal law of India, that is what the essence of a democratic governance is about. What we have done, and I am very clear that as government, as law minister, my job is to give infrastructure, create enabling atmosphere, pass appropriate laws which judiciary commends or society demands, like triple talaq, you just mentioned to me. What was triple talaq? It was a quest for gender justice for women who were victimized by this very insidious evil practice. Other laws have also come. What we have done, ladies and gentlemen, that apart from enhancing the infrastructure, just to give you one example, this centrally sponsored scheme is going on since the year 93-94. Out of that, till today, 55% expenditure has been done by the Narendra Modi government. The court halls have risen from 15,000 to 20,000. Today, 18,000 plus court complexes of India have become digitally enabled. For my friends of technology who are today in this meeting, let me share with them a very unique product, National Judicial Data Grid. In this National Judicial Data Grid, you'll be happy to know that there is exact case information with elastic search technology of 18.66 crore cases pending in High Court, District Court, and Subordinate Court. At a click of a button, you can know about this progress. And it houses 14.52 crore orders and judgments. Therefore, just at a click of the button, all these details are available. And how I use it? My system in my department picks up 10-year-old criminal cases, criminal appeal pending in district courts of India. And I write to the chiefs of High Court, please ensure they are expedited. And yes, it is going there is some marked improvement because of that. National e-thal, e-filing, training of judges, training of lawyers, all these things are going on. I would like to hear from Symbiosis Law School some concrete, pragmatic solutions as to how to expedite criminal justice delivery more effectively. The issue of sexual offenses, abuse, children's sexual abuse came to our notice. We changed the law. I did not go into details. Even capital punishment has been awarded in the case of a child subject to sexual abuse. But the fast track court was expedited. Today, nearly 350 to 400 dedicated POSCO courts are there, and 49,000 cases have been disposed of. I'm not very happy. We have to expedite it more and more because COVID came in between, affecting trial. And Shashikala ji, I would like to hear from you and your team one particular issue of challenge, this plea bargaining. There is a provision in law. You are smiling because you know the problem. The problem is plea bargaining is for small offenses. For bigger offenses, there is a social pressure and requirement of pushing it. The social pressure is if you go for plea bargaining, then you acknowledge your guilt. And you are acknowledging your guilt for lesser punishment. The society presses, the family presses, why you go for plea bargaining? Go for trial and get a clean acquittal. That is a competing interest which we have to address. But I must say, technology is playing a very, very crucial role. Since I'm going to address the issue of internet and social media in the other segment of my observations, I would briefly touch the issue of cyber crime and need for cyber forensic and reinforcement of cyber wall. That's a big challenge, I must tell you. And Dr. Majumdar, I would recommend to you that India needs good cyber forensic institutions. Since your institution has expanded in all the various disciplines and rightly so with great excellence, I would recommend to you that Symbiosis must consider a good dedicated cyber forensic discipline in your vast campus. Because this challenge is going to be an important challenge in the coming years. Already, in my capacity as an IT minister, I'm personally pursuing it. Need for greater skilling in cyber area for government officers, for law enforcers, for academia, for police personnel, for law enforcement agencies. And those who commit cyber forensics are not 100, but 1,000 steps ahead of us. They're brilliant people with a devilish mind. Therefore, this is skilling, this training is very, very important. When you talk of criminal law, we must understand that cyber crime is occupying an important component of criminal law today. They keep on pilfering your money from your digital card. They keep on attacking your bank account. They keep on slipping your vital documents. And most important, certain international operators create havoc with the entire e-system, be it power, be it banking, etc., as happened suddenly about 2 days ago in case of power. Therefore, this is my recommendation to you that as your institution has done brilliantly, maybe you may be doing it, I'm not aware, but there has to be a dedicated cyber forensic, cyber training, and cyber course segment in your vast discipline which you have in your institution. I'm very happy to share with you that we have set up an online postgraduate diploma in cyber law, cyber crime, and investigation and digital forensics with the National Law University, Bhopal. And to my pleasant surprise, I must tell you that we started it in November, in the height of pandemic, Dr. Sashikala, and about 55 district and session judges have got the training. 41 public prosecutors have got training. 285 police officers of the rank of ADG, IG, DIGs, and SP have got the training. And officers, about 200 officers from custom, direct taxes, all have. It's a brilliant scope. I would recommend that law graduates with a special training in cyber laws are going to make very good opening for them in the emerging India which we are developing. I don't want to labor on what kind of lok adalats we are doing. Large number of lok adalats are going on. National Judicial Data Grid I've already talked about. But some significant changes which we have done is application of technology, virtual courts. We have set up 12 virtual courts, Dr. Mujumdar, in the case of your basically violations of traffic rules. People have to go to courts and all these things. And we'll be happy to know that these courts have heard 3.5 lakh cases and realized penalty worth 55 crores in fines. That is the potential of virtual courts. In Delhi, about 34 digital courts have been set up in case of check bouncing, etc. Therefore, apart from conventional cases of murder trial, other conventional crimes under the penal code which requires session trial and others, we need to speed up and supplement virtual disposal of criminal cases which can be handled virtually. That is going to be a very, very big role as far as faster criminal justice delivery is concerned. And yes, we have to make a larger narrative of India's narration in the ease of doing business, because justice delivery forms an important part of ease of doing business. India was ranked 134 overall Professor Majumdar in 2014. Now in 20, we have come to 71 rank. We have jumped more than 63 numbers. In the ease of doing business for dedicated commercial courts, we have also gone very high. Then in enforcing contract is also a parameter. India in 2014 was 186. Now it is 163. There is scope for improvement. But what is important is we need to understand that access to justice is a part of good governance. And that policymakers will have to understand, law faculties will have to understand, law graduates will have to understand, administrators of law will have to understand, and with respect, judges will also have to understand that access to justice, faster justice, particularly in the criminal, is a part of good governance. And now India is treated with great respect globally. Therefore, access to justice, I am not going to give some time or more time on how we are developing India as a center of arbitration globally. We have set up we have changed the law whereby we are going to encourage institutional arbitration in India. India has become how to grade the institutional arbitrations by a proper arbitration council. We're going to set up in Delhi a big global level New Delhi arbitration center. All these things we are doing and we propose to do. This takes me as far as your access to justice is concerned. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I come to the second issue of social media. I know it is a very interesting topic, and in many ways it has become a hot topic also in the light of recent developments. Okay. I would like to touch every issue of it. We live in the digital age. Digital age is an age which is borderless, not caged by geography. At a click of a button in Pune, you can know what is happening far away in Colombia or Panama or Cuba, in North Latin America. This borderless world creates opportunity, also poses challenges. Let me just talk of opportunity. Mr. Majumdar, let me share with you something very interesting vision which our Prime Minister gave. In the year 2014, when he was campaigning for India to win the elections, which he won handsomely in 1902, he said, if I am elected the Prime Minister, I'll try to create an India where IT plus IT is equal to IT. I was sitting by his side in Ramila ground. All of us became surprised. He said, I wish to create an India where IT, India's talent, plus IT, information technology, is equal to IT, India tomorrow. That is the vision he gave. And I never knew that he will give the heavy load of this vision on my small shoulders. Okay, execute it. Digital India was born from there. What is Digital India? Digital India, simply put, is designed to empower ordinary Indians with the power of technology. Number one. Number two, bridge the digital divide between digital haves and digital have-nots. And number three, bring in digital inclusion. And this must be achieved through technology, which is homegrown, low cost, and inclusive. That is the simple meaning of digital India. How we have changed India through digital technology. Dr. Majumdar, I am very happy to tell you, and to all my friends who are listening to me, India's population 1.3 billion plus, 130 crore plus. India has Aadhaar card 1.29 billion, 129 crore. India has phone asset nearly 1.2 billion, 120 crore, mobile and landline. India has a smartphone 70 crore plus, 700 million. What is a smartphone? A moving computer. India has internet use 700 million plus. Therefore, this is the digital asset of India. And how we have used this asset for the use of common man. Now you must understand, Dr. Vidya and Professor Majumdar, you are a man of botany, a man of science. Digital India is different from IT services because sitting in Pune, one of the big centers of Indian IT services, IT services is services. Indian company went and set up their shop in more than 200 cities of 80 countries of the world, including USA. Digital India is empowering for the common man. This distinction has to be understood. How we are able to benefit the common man? We open up nearly 40 crore, 400 million bank account of the poor, link that with Aadhaar, the digital identity to supplement the physical identity. And started sending all the welfare measures to the bank account of the poor. Gas subsidy, ration subsidy, Manrega payment, scholarship, whatnot, which we call direct benefit transfer, DBT. We have sent close to 16 lakh crore plus in the last 6 years. And we have saved 1,80,000 crores, which used to be pocketed by middlemen or fictitious recipients. Digital governance is good governance. E-scholarship, e-visa, e-market. You'll be happy to know, Professor Majumdar, that we have given 1 lakh crore to 10 crore farmers, 2,000 rupees each farmer every 3 months, 6,000 crore, at a click of a button. You press the button, money goes in your account. This DBT has become a unique phenomenon of the world. UPI. India has become the biggest fintech movement in the world. GSTN. 1 crore 20 lakh traders today are on the GST platform. Ayushman Bharat. 5 lakh you get if you are poor of a category in any hospital. Crores of people are on Ayushman Bharat. Aadhaar, GSTN, UPI, fintech movement, digital payments. And during this COVID, Dr. Majumdar will be happy to tell you that my postman went with the Aadhaar-enabled payment system and gave the poor people, with the money which the Prime Minister sent or the state government sent, 12,000 crores at a simple app they were having and with a thumb impression. There is no bank, there is no other payment outlet. E-visa, e-kisan. Therefore, I'm very happy that by digital ecosystem, we have been able to change India. And just to give you how India is changing, our IT ecosystem, in which Pune has played a very great role, employs nearly 45 lakh people directly, 1/3 are women, and 1 crore 15-20 lakh indirectly, 1/3 women. I have set up a common service center movement. I would like Dr. Vidya to have some study on them by all of you. There were hardly 70,000 when they came to power in 2014. I have taken it to nearly 4 lakhs. They are digital chaos in the hinterland of India. They give government services, they make land records, they do digital schooling, they give you railway tickets, etc. I asked them, use them for pre-litigation advice for poor people in the hinterland of India by you leveraging the services of National Legal Service Authority, paralegal volunteers. So Shikala, you'll be very happy to know that we've been able to give 9 lakh advices to them through assigned lawyer panels who appear in remote village, a daughter-in-law being distraught by her in-laws, a poor farmer laborer not getting his due. What are the legal avenues available to you? I took a chance, and this pro bono has become this tele-law has become a big movement. Pro bono, lawyers must come to serve. And I'm very happy that even Symbiosis is on board with that pro bono movement. I wish to compliment. Before I come to social media, there is an appeal I have to make to the law student of your esteemed university. Become a law graduate, earn very well in law practice, earn tons of money in law firm, but keep a heart for the poor and underprivileged. And to my young friends, I would like to draw upon my own personal experience. In my introduction, you all have heard about my role as a human rights activist for trial prisoners. Dr. Shashikala, early 80s, one day I heard in a newspaper in Patna that one Mohammadin Mia was in jail for 49 years. How could he remain in jail for 49 years? I filed a PIL in the name of my human rights body seeking his release. My goodness, those were the initial days of PIL. What a big dressing down I was given by the judge. You young lawyers don't have manner. Is it the way to file a case on the basis of a news report? Finally, notice was issued on the precondition that if the news was found to be incorrect, I will suffer consequence. I took this bait. It came in the newspaper. One day, a elderly person came from Assam. He said, you are Ravi Shankar Prasad? Yes. You have filed this case? Yes. Mohammadin Mia is my uncle. My father died in 49, and he has taken a vow from me that I will search his father. I work in Assam. Every year I come to Motihari from where they hailed, a North Indian district in Bihar, and spend my months. But one day I had gone, and SDO said, go and meet this lawyer. He has filed the case of your uncle. Then I learned in the year 1927, he was arrested in an attempt to murder case. And because he had some problem in mind at that point in time, his trial was stayed because he must be in a mental condition to face the trial. And the society forgot him. How would you identify your uncle? I was a kid, my father said he has a big ball over the forehead. I got permission for him to meet his uncle. I got him released. I got him a princely compensation of 25,000 then for his incarceration for 49 years. I still remember Mohammadin Mia came to meet me after being released by court order from Hazaribagh. And the faint smile of hope I saw on his face, it still remains fresh in my mind. And my young friends, why I said this particular personal experience, destiny has been kind to me. I became a senior advocate at a very young age, modestly became a well-known lawyer in Patna High Court, Supreme Court in spite of my political commitments, became an MP at a young age, minister in the Bajpayee government young age, now a senior minister in Narendra Modi government. In spite of all these accomplishments, that faint smile of hope of Mohammadin Mia remains one of the biggest trophies of my life. That's how I see you must have an ear for the poor. And therefore, I don't know Madam, what kind of courses are undertaken to have some kind of a commitment for the underprivileged? I always say this should remain there. Now, this vast expansion of internet has also raised issues. One is the right of access. The right of access is an issue of great debate. There came the issue of net neutrality. And the issue became very current in America. Net must be neutral. Anyone can access. The company did not agree. It is my property. We have developed it. I said I bypassed this issue. I gave a commitment on the floor of the House in the Parliament that right of access of internet is not negotiable. My good friend Mark Zuckerberg, we have been met a number of times. He wanted to set up a system of free basics in India. A lot of campaign, you may recall, Dr. Vidya, a lot of ads on television, big posters and all, billboards. He also rang me up, please help me. Then I was the communication minister in the first term of Mr. Narendra Modi government. When I read his architecture, I found that it was free if you entered through the gate of Facebook. Free basics means one gate of Mr. Zuckerberg, Facebook. If you enter through that gate, everything is free. I told him I would never allow it. India is a democracy. India believes in many gates. Okay. And I did not allow him because that would have clearly impinged upon the right of access. The next issue came, is the internet a part of fundamental right? Well, the Supreme Court had said we are not deciding this issue. But they have surely said that internet is a part of the freedom of speech and expression, 19.1. Because if it is an integral to speech and expression, it is also subject to 19.2 of the fundamental right. Reasonable restrictions in pursuit of sovereignty, integrity of India, security of India, blah, blah, blah. The third issue comes is the right of privacy. The right of privacy, Dr. Vidya, is often the current debate, hot topic in the country. Yes, we all respect the right of privacy. When the Supreme Court gave the judgment that privacy is a right inherent of right to life under Article 21, I, as a law and IT minister, publicly appreciated in a press conference. But the Supreme Court has also said a terrorist does not have a right of privacy. A criminal or a corrupt person does not have a right to privacy. Otherwise, police cannot investigate. Because the moment police goes to investigate, he says, sorry, you're invading my right of privacy. The Supreme Court has also said innovation cannot be killed under the garb of privacy. And Dr. Vidya, I would like to just tell you how India has changed. India today has 50,000 registered startups. India has become the third biggest startup movement in the world. Out of this, 52 are unicorns. Unicorns means having revenue of $1 billion, 7,000 crores. And they are expected to be 150 unicorns by the year 2025. I'm very proud of this young man. I still remember in Economic Times Excellence Award, I had gone to Bangalore to give award. One young man, hardly 22 or 21, got the first prize of about $1 million rupee. I said, young man, you are so brilliant. What will you do? I will establish my startup and soon become a unicorn. It was refreshing to see this kind of hope and ambition of young men playing on computer. I was mentioning about electronic manufacturing, Professor Mujumdar. When I had become a minister in 2014, India had only 2 mobile factories, 2. Now India has become the second biggest mobile manufacturer in the world. 260 mobile factories have come. And we come with PLI, production link incentive. Apple, Samsung, all have come to India. And they are making, during COVID, I announced the incentive They have already started production of 54,000 crore, employing 30,000 people. And for me personally, I can share with you, Professor Mujumdar, 14 factories of Apple, mobile manufacturing and component, were shifted from China to India during COVID. That is the potential of India, which I would like to highlight. I'm very happy about this whole digital ecosystem. This brings me to the social media issue. And that I would like to share with you. Because I know some of my young friends are keen to hear me on the emerging challenge. I'm very happy that social media platforms are a byproduct of the internet spread globally. They enable people to exchange their ideas, their views, and empower. Just to tell you, in India, Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Twitter, Coup, and others, there are 134 crore plus people on these platforms. And since many of the platforms are having common users also, the total 100 crore Indians are using social media today. And I'm very happy as an IT minister. Why not? India is getting empowered. They ask questions, tough questions. They criticize the Prime Minister. They criticize me. They ask questions. At times, they criticize the professors also. No problem. I see it as a sign of empowerment of India, the capacity, the inclination, the ambition to ask questions. In that way, social media has done a good job. But of late, while the positive aspect of social media is well appreciated, there also emerged negative trends. And what are the negative trends? Fake news. Women being displayed naked, her dignity being compromised. Dr. Vidya, I'm sharing a question with you. This I always have to face it as an IT minister. A mother comes to me that the ex-boyfriend of my daughter is making her intimate photographs viral. What should I do? Should I say, go and complain to America, as Twitter says? A woman comes to me that my morph image is being circulated and recirculated. What should I do? A young businessman comes to me, my competitors have unleashed such a big negative social media campaign against me based upon fake news that I'm going to get completely drawn. What should I do? Journalists, politicians, we are used to criticism, no problem. Even judges, Dr. Mujumdar, now a new trend has developed. If a case is, I appreciate PIL. I've been a supporter of PIL. I've done some very big PIL case. This whole Lalu Prasad conviction in fodder scam is because of PIL I argued in the fodder scam for CBI inquiry, the bitumen scam. I'm happy. But a new trend is developing. They file PIL. They'll start a campaign on social media. But in this case, we want this type of judgment. And if this type of judgment doesn't come, then judges are trolled. Judges have told me. What should we do? Judges should be left completely free to decide a case as per their conscience, understanding of law. That's what independence of judiciary is about. This guideline which we have done hasn't come suddenly. And I would like my distinguished audience to know about it. There was a judgment in the Pranjula case in 2018, where the Supreme Court directed us to frame a guideline in case of unfortunate display of nudity of women, of children sexual abuse. Then there was a case of Facebook in the year September 2019, where judges have ordered if a message is getting viral, which is causing mayhem, violence, etc., there must be a legal framework to address them. There was a parliamentary debate, commitment on fake news, etc. by me in 2018. Venkaiah Naidu has set up a committee as Vice President of Rajya Sabha MPs to do something about abuse of children, sexual abuse. They have given the recommendation. Wide-state consultation. Thereafter, we have come with a guideline. In 5 minutes, I will just tell what the guidelines are about and I'll conclude. What are these guidelines? Number one, you must set up all the significant social media platform. What is significant? Having 50 lakh or more users. The guideline came into effect on 25th of February 2021. Me and Prakash Chowdekar gave it. And we gave them 3 months' time. What they have to do? First, set up a grievance redressal officer. Based in India with address, phone number, email properly displayed. Anyone can file his or her grievance there. That is the role of a grievance redressal officer. Then appoint a compliance officer whose duty would be to give a monthly report in public domain as to how many complaints were filed and how many have been disposed of, redressed. And third is a nodal officer for contact with the agencies, security agencies. Now, Dr. Vidya, am I asking for the moon to have 3 officers of their employee based in India? That's one. Second, have a mechanism in the platform for voluntary verification of your users. Government is out of it. You tell them, you please identify yourself. When the account is identified, give a tick. So that if you open your social media, a lot of people gives gyan to you with their mustaches, with their hair, hat like, no name is there, nothing like that. I have no problem. Only voluntarily identify your account with your platform. What is the third thing we have done? In case of WhatsApp messaging, we have only said a message which has already become viral. Remember, I am not seeking to know the content. A message which has already become viral, because of which riots are taking place, murder is taking place, terrorism is taking place, mayhem is taking place, or a lady's nude photograph or sexual act are being made viral, or a children's sexual abuse photograph is made viral. Only these 4 circumstances. Then you'll have to disclose who is the first originator of this nuisance. Remember, I am not seeking to know the content. The content is viral, which has led to violence or crime. You have to disclose that only. And if the message has come from outside the border of India, who lapped it up in India first? The first originator has been disclosed. Either by a court order, by authority under 69A, and this shall be required only and only when other intrusive process has not proved effective. These are the basic requirements. I am being given lecture, democracy, freedom of speech. Let me say with great sense of responsibility, which I have said in many of my television interviews, and let me repeat emphatically. India does not need lecture on freedom and freedom of speech and democracy from profit-making company. It's staying in America. When Indians companies go to do business in America, do they follow American laws or not? Ask the IT companies in Pune, they are having outfits in America. Do they follow American laws or not? Ask the pharma companies in Pune who have bases in America in manufacturing of pharma products. Do they follow American laws or not? You earn good money, no problem. Earn tons of money, no problem. India is a big digital market, no problem. Criticize the Prime Minister, criticize me, ask tough questions. But why will you not obey Indian laws? If you do business in India, you have to follow India's constitution and India's laws. Be very clear about it. What is democracy? We have free and fair election. Recently, we won Assam. We lost Bengal, the Vidhan Sabha election. An independent judiciary. In COVID, you may have seen judiciary ask very tough questions, at time more than what is required. Then Supreme Court has set right many of their adventurism also. But good, course correction is there. Media, civil society. I'm talking to the big crowd of symbiosis. I'll take questions also. Therefore, free election, people assertive, people asking questions, independent judiciary, parliament, media, exchange. That's what democracy is about. Therefore, these profit companies should not lecture us on democracy. And as a good friend of mine very aptly wrote, Mr. Majumdar, you may have remember that Remington typewriter was very popular earlier. One gentleman, Remington, invented it. On this Remington typewriter, the UN Human Rights Declaration was typed. Now, will the Remington say that it was we who produced it? You are a platform, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, good luck, but you are a commercial entity. The social cause is by the users. This has to be understood. Therefore, these are the general issues. Appreciate social media that empower ordinary Indians, appreciate they asking questions. But as I said earlier, let me give it in conclusion. These guidelines don't deal with the use of social media. They deal with the abuse and misuse of social media and give the users of social media a forum for redressal of their grievances. That's all these things about. So I thought I must very, in concrete bullet point, I must explain the essence. Mr. Majumdar, it was a pleasure meeting you and talking to this great institution Symbiosis, to your faculty, to the Vice Chancellor, the Pro-Chancellor and everyone. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I have tried my best to address the issue in my limited way of understanding. I hope I have not bored you. Thank you.